Kelly signaled her team with small hand gestures. They understood the new plan without words. Years of training had prepared them for adapting to unexpected situations. As the Draxari commander Vexcor prepared to give the final attack order, Kelly and her team moved into position. They stepped out from their hiding spots and walked calmly to the center of the command room. Then they sat down on the floor in meditation poses. For a moment, nothing happened. The Draxari were so surprised by the sudden appearance of humans that they simply stared. Then alarm bells rang. Guards rushed forward with weapons raised. "Hold," Vexcor ordered, his 4 arms raised in confusion. How did they get here? The humans did not move. They sat perfectly still, eyes closed, hands resting on their knees. Their faces showed no fear, no tension, only perfect calm. "They must be assassins," a Draxari officer shouted. "Kill them." "Wait," Vexcor said. "If they meant to attack, they would have done so already." The Draxari surrounded the humans, weapons pointed at them. But Kelly and her team remained motionless. Their breathing was slow and steady. Their hearts beat at a resting pace despite the danger. On Earth, the view screen suddenly showed the inside of the Draxari command center. Everyone could see Kelly's team sitting surrounded by confused aliens. "What are they doing?" General Clark asked. "The most powerful thing humans can do," Alan replied. "They're showing strength through stillness." On the flagship, Vexcor approached Kelly cautiously. His body never stopped moving as he circled her. "How did you get aboard my ship?" he demanded. "What weapon do you plan to use?" Kelly opened her eyes and looked directly at him. "We have no weapons. We came to show you who we really are." Dr. Johnson saw his opportunity. He spoke quickly to the communication team. "The channel is open. We can broadcast the calming signal now." The signal began transmitting through the open channel. On the view screen, everyone could see its effect. The Draxari movements began to slow. Their constant twitching and shifting became less frantic. What is happening?" Vexcor asked. He looked confused as his own movements slowed down. "We're helping you experience stillness," Kelly said calmly. "Not as weakness, but as strength." The signal continued to affect the Draxari nervous system. It didn't harm them, but created a temporary state where stillness felt less threatening to their biology. "I feel strange," Vexcor said. His 4 arms hung loosely at his sides. "My mind is quieter." "Sit with us," Kelly invited, "just for a moment." To everyone's surprise, Vexcor lowered himself to the floor. Other Draxari watched in shock as their leader sat facing the humans. For the first time in his life, he was almost still. On Earth, the mood changed from fear to hope. The Draxari weapons powered down. The attack never came. 3 days later, representatives from Earth, the Confederation, and the Draxari Collective met on neutral ground. Vexcor was different now. He still moved more than humans, but less than before. "The experience aboard my ship has changed me," Vexcor admitted. "For the first time, I heard my own thoughts clearly, without the noise of constant motion." "The calming signal has worn off," Dr. Johnson explained. "What you feel now is your own choice. The Draxari Collective will withdraw from Earth space," Vexcor announced. "We request time to understand this new concept of stillness." 1 month later, Earth was officially welcomed into the Galactic Confederation. Human meditation teachers were in high demand across the galaxy. Aliens came to Earth to learn the art of sitting quietly. Alan stood with Lisa on a hill, watching alien visitors practice yoga in a field below. "Who would have thought," Alan said, "that humanity's greatest strength would be something so simple?" "Sometimes the most powerful things are," Lisa replied. "Being able to stop, to think, to just be still. That's what made us human." In a galaxy filled with constant motion, humans had found their place, not as the strongest physically or the most technologically advanced, but as teachers of a different kind of strength, the power of stillness, of quiet minds, of peaceful hearts. The galaxy's strongest species had indeed discovered why humans sit quietly, and they would never be the same again. Kelly Baker's small ship approached the massive Draxari flagship. Her team included 4 Special Forces soldiers, all trained in extreme stillness techniques. They wore simple black suits with no weapons. "Remember," Kelly told them, "once we're inside, absolute stillness is our only defense. Their sensors detect movement, not stationary objects." The stealth technology caught them close. Then, during a moment when the Draxari changed sensor patterns, they attached to the giant ship's hull. "Cutting now," whispered one soldier. The laser cutter made a small hole, just big enough for them to slip through. Inside the Draxari ship, everything moved. The walls pulsed with energy. The floors vibrated. Even the air seemed to flow in constant currents. "They've built their environment to keep moving," Kelly noted. "Just like them." The team moved carefully through maintenance tunnels. When Draxari soldiers passed, the humans pressed against walls and became perfectly still. The aliens walked right past them, never noticing. "It's working," one soldier whispered after a close call. "They don't see us when we don't move." Back on Earth, tension grew. The Draxari had extended their deadline by 1 hour, but demanded to speak with Earth's leaders. On the main view screen, a Draxari commander appeared. He had red-black skin, 4 arms like the Exaraxians, but with sharp claws. His eyes glowed with inner fire. "I am Supreme Commander of X-Corps," he announced. "Your species represents a disruption to galactic order. Your stillness ability suggests hidden threats." "We mean no harm," General Clark responded. "We seek peaceful relations with all species." "Peace is weakness," Vex-Corps growled. "The strong survive by constant action, constant vigilance." While they talked, Dr. Johnson worked frantically with Ziv and other alien scientists. They had finished the calming signal device but needed a way to broadcast it throughout the Draxari fleet. "We need access to their communication system," Ziv explained. "Kelly's team is our only hope," Ellen said, "if they can reach the command center." On the flagship, Kelly's team made slow progress. They had to stop often and remain perfectly still as Draxari passed by. What should have taken minutes took hours. But they were getting closer to the command center. "Their sensors sweep every 30 seconds, Kelly whispered. "But if we don't move, we register as equipment or ship parts." They reached a large door with glowing red symbols. "The command center," one soldier confirmed, checking his translator. "Now we wait," Kelly said. "The next shift change should be in 10 minutes." The 5 humans positioned themselves in corners and alcoves. Then they became as still as statues. Their breathing slowed. Their hearts beat steadily. They did not blink. They did not twitch. They simply existed in perfect stillness. Draxari soldiers walked past them multiple times. None noticed the humans hiding in plain sight. When the shift changed, the doors opened. Kelly and her team slipped inside the busy command center. Dozens of Draxari moved between stations, checking screens, giving orders. Kelly found a spot near a wall and froze again. Her team did the same in different locations around the room. They were now in the heart of the enemy ship, surrounded by Draxari, yet completely unnoticed. On Earth, the final ultimatum came. "You have 10 minutes to surrender," Vex-Corps announced, "or we open fire." Frank's fleet prepared for battle. Confederation ships were still too far away to help. Earth's defenses would not last long against the Draxari weapons. Dr. Johnson held the signal device in his hands. If Kelly can't reach their communication system, all this work was for nothing. On the flagship, Kelly watched the Draxari commander give orders to destroy Earth. She knew they had run out of time. They needed a new plan. "We can't reach their system undetected," she thought. "So we need them to see us." Kelly made a decision. Instead of hiding, they would do something no species in the galaxy would expect. They would reveal themselves, but not with weapons or threats. They would show the true power of human stillness, right in the heart of enemy territory. 3 weeks after first contact, Earth was changing. Alien technology helped clean polluted areas. New medicines cured diseases. Energy problems vanished with new power sources. In return, meditation centers opened for aliens. Yoga classes taught by humans had waiting lists. Some aliens even tried human food, music, and art, all things that required sitting still to enjoy. On a Tuesday morning, Alan was woken by an urgent call. Lieutenant Miller, report immediately. General Clark's voice was tense. At the base, screens showed a new fleet of ships entering Earth's orbit. These looked different, darker, with sharp edges and glowing red lights. The Draxari Collective, Kraxthar explained when Alan arrived. A faction that broke from the Confederation 200 years ago. They believe in strength through conquest. Are they dangerous? Alan asked. The most dangerous warriors in the galaxy, Kraxthar said. They see other species as either threats to eliminate or resources to use. Captain Frank Martinez entered the room. He was tall with a serious face and quick eyes. He commanded Earth's new defense fleet, ships built with alien technology. We've received a message from the Draxari, Frank said. They demand we surrender Earth or face destruction. They say humans are a threat to galactic order. A threat? Alan asked. How? They've been watching, Kraxthar explained. They see your stillness ability as dangerous. A species that can silence their thoughts could hide their true intentions. Earth's leaders gathered in an emergency meeting. The Draxari had given them 6 hours to surrender. The room was loud with arguments and fear. We should fight, someone shouted. Our ships are new. We don't know how to use them properly yet, Frank warned. The Confederation will help, Kraxthar promised. But our nearest battle fleet is 2 days away. Frank studied the displays showing the Draxari ships. Something's odd about their formation. They've left gaps in their defense line. The Draxari never make tactical mistakes, Kraxthar said. They are always moving, always attacking. Always moving, Frank repeated slowly. Then his eyes widened. Maybe that's their weakness. Frank explained his idea. The Draxari, like all galactic species, expected constant movement and action. Their sensors and tactics were designed for enemies who behaved like them. What if we use our stillness as a tactical advantage? Frank suggested. How? Asked General Clark. A small team on a stealth ship, Frank said, using our ability to remain motionless to avoid detection. Kraxthar looked doubtful. Draxari sensors are the best in the galaxy. But they're designed to detect motion, Lisa pointed out. She had joined the meeting late. They might not notice something that doesn't move. It's worth trying, Frank said. Otherwise, we have no chance. A plan formed quickly. A small team would infiltrate the Draxari flagship, not to attack, but to demonstrate humanity's true strength through peaceful means. Sergeant Kelly Baker volunteered to lead the mission. She was a former sniper with exceptional patience and self-control. We need more than a demonstration, Kelly said during planning. We need something that affects their biology. Dr. Johnson had an idea. He had been studying how different sound frequencies affected alien nervous systems. We might be able to create a signal that calms the Draxari nervous system, Dr. Johnson suggested. Something that reduces their need for constant movement. A peace signal, Lisa asked. Exactly, Dr. Johnson nodded. Not a weapon, but a bridge. As the deadline approached, Earth prepared for both peace and war. Frank's fleet formed a defensive line. Meanwhile, a small stealth ship prepared to depart with Kelly's team. This is crazy, Alan told Kelly before she boarded. You're going to sit still on their ship and hope they don't notice you. Kelly smiled. Sometimes the strongest move is no move at all. The stealth ship was designed with Confederation technology. It could become nearly invisible for short periods. It would get Kelly's team close, but the rest was up to human stillness. As the 6-hour deadline neared its end, Kelly's ship silently departed Earth. At the same time, Dr. Johnson finished his calming signal device. The Draxari ships moved into attack position, their weapons powered up. War seemed inevitable. But humans had a plan that no species in the galaxy would expect. A plan based on the strange ability to sit quietly. Word spread quickly through the galaxy. Ships from distant systems arrived to see the strange humans who could sit still for hours. Earth's orbit filled with vessels of all shapes and sizes. The meditation contest finally ended after 12 hours when Dr. Johnson called a stop. The monk, yoga instructor, and sniper all stood, stretched, and smiled. They had proven their point. 2 days later, Lisa led a research team working with alien scientists. They set up a lab where they studied human brains during meditation. Ziv, the six-legged alien scientist, stared at the brain scans with amazement. "Your neural patterns change completely during this meditation," Ziv said. "Parts of your brain become quiet while others light up with activity." "That's right," Lisa explained. "We can direct our focus internally. We can ignore outside distractions and even control our body functions." Alan spent his days in meetings with galactic officials. They asked endless questions about human history, culture, and biology. They seemed most interested in how humans could be both active and still. "Your species is unique," Tervas told Alan during one meeting. "All other advanced species in the galaxy evolved with hyperactive nervous systems. They must move constantly to survive." "And humans?" Alan asked. "Your planet allowed for different survival strategies," Tervas explained. "You developed both fight and flight responses, but also the ability to hide through stillness. This makes humans unpredictable." News reports showed aliens attempting to learn meditation from human teachers. The results were often funny. Xeraxians struggled to sit for even 1 minute without their 4 arms moving. Vashni legs twitched constantly. A jellyfish-like species actually deflated when trying to be still. One evening, Alan found Kraxthar watching the sunset from the roof of the UN building. The aliens' movements seemed slower than usual. "Beautiful," Kraxthar said, pointing at the orange and pink sky. "I never noticed the colors changing so slowly before." "You were too busy moving to see it," Alan suggested. "Perhaps." Kraxthar turned his 6 eyes to Alan. "I tried the meditation today. I lasted 3 minutes before the panic came." Panic. When we stop moving, our bodies send danger signals. Our ancestors who stopped moving were eaten by predators. The fear is deep in our biology. "I'm sorry," Alan said. "It must be difficult. It makes me wonder what else humans can do that we cannot," Kraxthar said. "What other abilities your unique evolution has given you." The next day, a special meeting was called. Representatives from all 12 major species gathered along with human leaders. Tervas spoke first. "The Galactic Confederation has studied humans extensively these past days. Your species possesses abilities we find both fascinating and concerning." The room grew quiet. Even the aliens seemed to move less. "Humans can switch between intense activity and complete stillness," Tervas continued. "You can focus your minds in ways no other species can. And most importantly, you can adapt your behavior consciously rather than following instinct." Lisa leaned close to Alan. "I'm not sure if they're complimenting us or warning others about us." "Perhaps both," Alan whispered back. "Several species have expressed concern," Tervas said. "They fear humans might use these abilities in ways that threaten galactic peace." The human representatives looked at each other nervously. However, Tervas raised his voice. "The Council has decided that humans represent not a threat but an opportunity. Your unique abilities may benefit all species." Dr. Johnson was invited to speak. He showed videos of human meditation centers, yoga classes, and martial arts training. "What looks like weakness is actually strength," he explained. "Stillness allows humans to recover, to plan, to focus. Many of our greatest achievements came from quiet contemplation." "We propose a cultural exchange," Tervas announced. Human teachers will help interested species learn these skills. In return, the Confederation will share technologies to help Earth. As the meeting ended, Alan noticed something strange. The aliens moved differently now. Not constantly in motion like before. Some actually paused briefly between movements. They were trying to be more still. "They're learning from us," Lisa said, noticing the same thing. "And we'll learn from them," Alan replied. That's how it should be. What had started as a contest had become something more. The beginning of true understanding between different kinds of minds from across the stars. News of the strange contest spread quickly across the alien ships. More and more visitors came to watch the humans sit still. They stared with all their various eyes and sensory organs as the four humans remained motionless hour after hour. After 3 hours, Dr. Johnson asked the humans if they wanted to stop. They all declined with small head shakes. The aliens gasped at even this tiny movement. It was the first they had seen in hours. In a room next door, Alan and Lisa spoke with several alien scientists. One of them, a 6-legged being named Ziv, seemed especially interested in understanding humans. "How is this stillness possible?" Ziv asked, his translator device struggling to convey his excitement. "Our nervous systems require constant feedback through movement. Humans can control our autonomic responses," Lisa explained. "Through practice, we can slow our heart rate, control our breathing, and remain perfectly still." "But why develop such an ability?" asked Ziv. His legs never stopped moving as he spoke. Dr. Johnson joined them, leaving assistants to watch the competition. He pulled up images of the human brain on a screen. "Look here," he pointed to specific regions. "Humans develop parts of our brain that can override instinctual responses. We call it self-control or discipline." The alien scientists crowded around the screen, their bodies shifting constantly. "On our worlds," Ziv said, "predators detect movement, but they also detect stillness as abnormal. A still creature stands out. On Earth," Dr. Johnson explained, "many predators detect movement, so staying still was sometimes the best defense." "But this is more than defense," Ziv insisted. "These humans show no signs of stress. Their vital signs indicate deep calm." "That's the real discovery," Lisa said. "Humans don't just tolerate stillness. We benefit from it. Meditation reduces stress, improves focus, and helps healing." The aliens looked at each other, their moving limbs expressing what Alan now recognized as confusion. "A species that grows stronger through stillness," Ziv said slowly. "This is unknown in galactic records." Back in the competition room, only one human had dropped out. The surgeon, who politely excused himself after 4 hours. The monk, yoga instructor, and sniper remained perfectly still. Kraxthar approached Alan. "This ability. Can all humans do this?" "With practice, yes," Alan said. "Some are naturally better than others, but all humans can learn to be still and quiet their minds." Quiet their minds. Kraxthar's 6 eyes blinked rapidly. "What does this mean?" Alan thought for a moment. "Our thoughts can be noisy, like many voices talking at once. Meditation helps us focus on one thing or nothing at all." Kraxthar seemed disturbed by this idea. "The mind should always be active, alert to danger. To quiet it seems dangerous. For humans, it's the opposite," Alan explained. "Constant alertness exhausts us. We need quiet time to think clearly." By evening, word had reached the highest levels of the Galactic Confederation. Important officials arrived in special ships. They came to witness this strange human ability for themselves. The monk, yoga instructor, and sniper continued their demonstration. 7 hours now without movement. Their breathing was so slow it was barely visible. One high-ranking alien, covered in shimmering scales, approached Dr. Johnson. "I am Tervaz, head counselor of the Confederation. Is this ability used in your warfare?" "Yes," Dr. Johnson said. "Our snipers can remain motionless for days while waiting for a target. Our special forces can control their breathing to hide underwater or in tight spaces. And in daily life? Asked Tervas. We sit quietly to read, to think, to rest. Dr. Johnson explained. Some of our greatest ideas come during moments of stillness. The alien officials huddled together, their bodies in constant motion as they discussed this information. We have misjudged humans, Tervas finally announced. What we saw as weakness may be a form of strength we do not understand. Anyone can throw a punch, Alan said. It takes true strength to remain still when everything inside you wants to move. The aliens watched the three remaining humans with new respect in their many eyes. What had started as a simple contest had become a revelation. The galaxy's strongest species had discovered something new. The power of sitting quietly. The next week was busy on Earth. More alien ships arrived. Not just Soraxians now, but other species from the Galactic Confederation. They all shared the same trait. Constant movement. Never still. Always active. Alan found himself in meeting after meeting. World leaders talked with alien representatives. They discussed trade, technology, and Earth joining the Confederation. They all want proof of our strength, Alan told Lisa as they walked across the base, but they don't seem impressed by our military or technology. Because that's not what they mean by strength, Lisa said. They measure it differently. A new alien ship had landed that morning. This one carried the Vashni, tall, thin aliens with 6 legs who moved like spiders. Their ambassador, Shikla, now approached Alan and Lisa. Humans, Shikla said, her voice musical but never stopping to take a breath. We have watched your species for days now. Your tendency towards stillness is most concerning. How can a species advance without constant energy and motion? Before Alan could answer, Commander Susan Garcia joined them. Susan was short but carried herself with authority. With all respect, Susan said, you judge us by your standards. Perhaps we should establish a fair test. What test do you propose? Shikla asked, her 6 legs shifting constantly. A challenge, Susan said, to prove humanity's worth to the Confederation. Word spread quickly. By afternoon, representatives from all 12 major species had gathered in the large conference room at the United Nations. No chairs had been provided at the aliens' request. Everyone stood. The Galactic Confederation requires new member species to demonstrate their strength, announced Kraxthar. This is our oldest tradition. We understand, Susan said, standing at the podium. And we propose a challenge that will fairly test all participants. The aliens murmured among themselves, their bodies in perpetual motion. Our challenge is simple, Susan continued, a test of stillness and silence. The room grew louder as the aliens talked over each other. Stillness, said a reptilian alien with constantly twitching scales. That is no test of strength. In our culture, Susan explained, the ability to remain completely still requires great mental and physical control. We propose a meditation contest. Meditation, asked Shikla. Explain this concept. Participants sit in a specific posture, Susan said. They remain completely still and silent. The last one remaining wins. The aliens laughed. At least Alan thought it was laughter. Different sounds from different mouths, but all with the same meaning. Ridicule. We accept your challenge, Kraxthar finally said. Though it seems a strange way to test strength, we will easily defeat humans at any test. A large room was prepared. Representatives from each species would compete. From humans, a Buddhist monk, a yoga instructor, a sniper, and a surgeon. People trained in stillness. Dr. Gregory Johnson, a neurologist, explained the rules. Each participant will sit in this position. He demonstrated a simple cross-legged posture. No moving, no talking. Last one remaining wins. The aliens seemed amused. They whispered to each other, their bodies shifting and turning. This will be too easy, one alien said to another. Humans must know they will lose, said another. The participants took their places, 12 aliens and 4 humans. Dr. Johnson raised his hand. The competition begins now. The room fell silent. The humans closed their eyes, their bodies perfectly still. The aliens tried to copy them. Within 5 minutes, one alien was out, a blue-skinned being with tentacles that wouldn't stop moving. He stood up, embarrassed. I cannot. My tentacles move of their own accord. This is impossible. By 15 minutes, half the aliens had given up. They paced the room, watching the others with growing concern. At 30 minutes, only one alien remained, a Xoraxian general named Vorketh. His 4 arms trembled with effort. Sweat poured down his blue-gray skin. His 6 eyes darted around frantically. The 4 humans hadn't moved a muscle. Their breathing was slow and steady, their faces peaceful. Vorketh finally stood with a roar of frustration. This is not natural. Not possible. The aliens stared in shock as the humans continued sitting, perfectly still, eyes closed, seemingly at peace. How long can they remain like this? Kraxthar asked Dr. Johnson quietly. The monk once meditated for 30 days. Dr. Johnson replied, though we won't make you wait that long. The next morning, Alan Miller woke up early. He had barely slept. Meeting aliens would do that to a person. His phone rang just as he finished his coffee. Lieutenant Miller, the Xoraxians want to show us their ship, General Clark said. They're calling it a cultural exchange. Get to base now. Alen arrived to find Dr. Lisa Young waiting. She had bright eyes and a quick smile. Her badge said, Cynobiologist. So you're the alien expert, Lisa said, shaking his hand. I study unknown life forms. Looks like we'll be working together. A small team gathered. Alan, Lisa, 2 diplomats, and a communications expert. A helicopter took them to Central Park where the Xoraxian shuttle waited. Remember, Alan told the team, they never stop moving. Don't take it as a sign of aggression. The shuttle was nothing like human vehicles. It had no chairs, just poles to hold onto. The 5 humans stood awkwardly as the shuttle rose toward the massive mothership. You don't have sitting places, Lisa asked the Xoraxian pilot. Sitting during travel. The alien made a sound like rocks falling. Maybe it was laughter. Only the sick or injured would waste travel time sitting. The mothership was enormous inside. Thousands of Xoraxians moved through wide corridors. None walked slowly. None stood still. It was like watching a beehive. Kraxthar met them at the entrance. Welcome to the glory of Thorax. We will show you how the strongest species in the galaxy lives. The tour was exhausting. The Xoraxians moved quickly through room after room. No chairs anywhere. No benches. Not even in their eating area where aliens stood at tall tables, quickly consuming food while talking and gesturing. Do you ever rest? Ellen asked after 2 hours of walking. Of course, Kraxthar said. We sleep in motion chambers that rock and vibrate. Complete stillness is for the dead. They entered a large room where dozens of Xoraxians were fighting. Not angrily, but in practice. Our daily strength ritual, Kraxthar explained. All Xoraxians must prove their value through physical challenge. The humans watched the aliens wrestle with their 4 arms, throw heavy objects, and run in complex patterns. Would you like to try? A younger Xoraxian asked the humans. Perhaps later, Alan said politely. We need a short break first. The aliens looked confused, but led them to a small side room. There were no chairs here either, but the floor had soft mats. We will return soon, Kraxthar said. Prepare yourselves for physical demonstration. When the aliens left, the humans gratefully sat down on the mats. My feet are killing me, one of the diplomats said. Lisa pulled out a small notebook and started writing. Their entire culture is built around constant movement. No wonder they find us strange. After 15 minutes, the door opened. 3 Xoraxians stood there, all 6 of their eyes wide with what looked like alarm. What is wrong? One asked urgently. Are you injured? Dying? We're just sitting, Alan explained, taking a break. So, still, another alien whispered, not moving at all, not speaking. How do you do this? Lisa stood up. It's normal for humans. We often sit quietly. But why? Kraxthar had returned. He seemed genuinely disturbed. What purpose does this stillness serve? It helps us think, Lisa explained. It conserves energy. It's peaceful. Peace is found in movement, Kraxthar said. All species know this. On our homeworld, to stop moving meant death from predators. Earth had predators too, Lisa said. But humans also developed hiding and stillness as survival techniques. The aliens discussed this among themselves rapidly, their four arms moving in what seemed like distress signals. Come, Kraxthar finally said. We must show you something important. They led the humans to a massive chamber with a glowing sphere in the center. Images floated around it, different planets, different aliens, all of them constantly moving, like the Xeraxians. The Galactic Confederation, Kraxthar said. 12 major species, over 200 member worlds. All evolved on predator-heavy worlds where movement meant survival. And Earth? Alan asked. Your world is strange, Kraxthar said. Safer. It allowed your kind to develop differently. The aliens seemed to struggle with this concept. The ability to be still is unknown among strong species. It makes the Confederation concerned. Concerned about what? Lisa asked. What other strange abilities humans might possess, Kraxthar said. And what they might mean for the galaxy. The day the aliens came to Earth started like any other. Blue sky, white clouds, birds singing. Then the giant ship appeared above New York City. It hung in the air, dark and silent. News stations around the world showed the same thing. A massive ship, twice the size of the Empire State Building, floating without a sound. People ran in the streets. Some screamed. Others took pictures. Many just stood and stared. Lieutenant Alan Miller got the call at 600 hours. Report to base immediately, his commander said. No explanation. No details. Just come now. Alan drove fast. At the base, everyone moved quickly. Soldiers ran with weapons. Officers shouted orders. Screens showed the alien ship from different angles. General Clark spotted Alan and waved him over. Miller, you studied alien contact protocols, right? Yes, sir. 2 years at the Space Academy. Good. You're our liaison then. The President wants peaceful first contact. Make it happen. Alan's mouth went dry. Me? Sir, I'm just. You're what we've got, Miller. Helicopter leaves in 10 minutes. The meeting point was Central Park. The aliens had sent a message in perfect English. We come to talk. No weapons. Meet us in your green space. Alan stood with a small team. 2 scientists, 3 diplomats, and 4 unarmed soldiers. They all wore everyday clothes, as ordered. No uniforms. No signs of military. Just regular humans. The ship sent down a beam of light. Then they appeared. The aliens were huge. The smallest one stood 7 feet tall. They had gray-blue skin that looked like armor. Their 4 arms rippled with muscles. Their faces had 6 eyes that moved independently. Alan stepped forward. His heart pounded in his chest, but his voice stayed steady. Welcome to Earth. I'm Lieutenant Alan Miller, representative of the United Earth Government. The largest alien stepped forward. I am Kraxthar, ambassador of the Xeraxian Empire and representative of the Galactic Confederation. His voice sounded like rocks falling down a mountain. The aliens kept moving. They shifted their weight from foot to foot. Their extra arms never stopped gesturing. Their eyes darted everywhere. You are not afraid? Kraxthar asked, looking confused. We hope for peace, Alan said. We welcome visitors. No weapons. Another alien said, his 4 arms patting his sides where weapons might be hidden. Strange strategy. The aliens followed Alan to the meeting room set up nearby. The human team sat down at the table. The aliens remained standing, moving around the room, picking things up, putting them down. "Please sit," said Dr. Patricia Owen, one of the scientists. "Sit." During negotiations, Kraxthar seemed shocked. "We are not weak or tired." Alan noticed how the aliens never stopped moving, never stood still. Even when talking, they paced and gestured. "The Galactic Confederation has observed your world for 20 of your years," Kraxthar said. "We come to evaluate Earth for potential membership." "We're honored," Alan said. "What does membership involve?" "Trade, protection, knowledge." Kraxthar's 6 eyes blinked in different patterns. "But first, you must demonstrate your species' strength." Dr. Owen leaned forward. "Our technology, our culture, your ability to survive," another alien said. "The galaxy is not kind to the weak." Throughout the meeting, Alan noticed how uncomfortable the aliens became whenever the humans sat quietly or stopped to think. The Exaraxians would shift more quickly, their movements becoming almost frantic during silences. When the meeting ended, Kraxthar approached Alan. "Your people are unusual. You sit so still. You speak without moving. How do you show your strength this way?" Alan smiled. "Sometimes strength isn't about what you do. Sometimes it's about what you don't do." Kraxthar's face moved in what might have been confusion. "We will meet again tomorrow. Bring your leaders. Show us why humans deserve respect in the galaxy." As the aliens left in their beam of light, Alan watched them go. They had discovered Earth, but they didn't understand humans at all. And somehow, our ability to sit quietly had them worried. The first contact was peaceful, but Alan knew tomorrow would bring challenges. The galaxy's strongest species had found Earth, and they couldn't understand the power of being still.